O traveler from beyond this world, will you witness this tale unfold?
Alice?
You recognized me just like that? Maybe I need to work on my impression. Anywho, come to Star Sand Shoal. There's a little something I'd like your help with.
Well, it wouldn't be Clay's mom without a hefty dose of mystery, huh? Let's go see what this is about. Oh, it's Durin!
Traveler in Paimon? I'm sorry. I hope I didn't scare you.
Oh, no, you didn't scare us. Just gave us a little surprise. Looks like you've gotten even more powerful now.
I don't know. It just feels like it's gotten harder to control. I didn't mean to strike so hard. I'm so relieved you didn't get hurt.
It's all good. We've had worse.
No, don't worry about that. It's been very stable ever since I got this body. Albedo made sure of that. What you saw just now is something that only started happening recently. Maybe I'm still acclimating or something. I'm sure it'll clear up over time. Anyway, what brings you here? Did you need something?
Well,
The day that the writer and the watcher crossed paths was the day that the magic known as storytelling was born.
so, she asked us to come.
Miss Alice?
You too? I guess I really do need to work on my impression. Well, never mind that. It's been too long, Mini Durin. And please, that's Aunt Alice to you. I have brought you and the Traveler together here for a very important purpose. It has to do with your mom.
My mom?
Indeed, fairy tale author extraordinaire, Anya Marie Andersdottir. See, I knew this would be right up your alley. Now then, if you'll open the book, I will begin narrating.
Whoa! What is this place? It reminds Paimon of Simulanka.
The two are indeed similar. Both worlds were built using the same magic, after all.
Aha! So it is Alice!
Hello, Aunt Alice?
Oh, no need to be shy. Just think of me as one of your mother's dearest friends.
You keep talking about stories and magic. What's this all about? Simulanka 2.0 or something?
Certainly not. Simulanka was a peerless masterpiece. Without the original author, it would be impossible to create a sequel, even for me. But you are right about one thing. Just like last time, I want to show you a work of magic that has to do with storytelling.
What's this?
This is your mother's dying wish.
My mother's dying wish was a book?
Let me answer that with a question. What do you suppose would be a writer's greatest regret? Have you ever read a book called The Little Witch and the Undying Fire? Oh, that's because it was the work of more than one person. It began as a little game at our tea parties, each of us took turns writing the next part of the story. I wrote the first volume, then the other mages took their turns. Em was tasked with writing the final volume and tying everything up. But by the time everyone had finished writing their parts, Em had passed away. Oh, it was a terrible shame. A true tragedy. And that is the answer to my question. A writer's greatest regret is to leave a story unfinished. But all is not lost. I couldn't stand the doom and gloom of it all, so I went ahead and wrote an ending myself on her behalf.
Then what's this book?
This is the answer your mother gave to the same question. In her eyes, this was her greatest regret. She made me promise that I would bring it to you because she believed the only person who could resolve this regret is you.
So my mother's greatest regret is another unfinished story?
You could say that.
And I guess resolving the regret means finishing the story?
That's one way to put it.
Oh, is a straight answer too much to ask for?
Her answer was quite the opposite of what I'd expected. But oh, how touching it was. I'd love to tell you what she said, I really would. But that would spoil the plot, and we can't have that. Spoilers ruin everything.
Oh.
Just think of this task as giving a story a much-needed ending. All I ask is that you do your best.
I understand. But I only just started learning human script, and I don't have any writing experience at all.
Relax. Why else do you think your dear aunt went and found you two such wonderful helpers? With their experience, you'll have so many story ideas you won't know what to do with them. So don't be shy to ask lots of questions.
Yeah. If it's to help Durin fulfill his mother's dying wish, then we're in.
Aunt Alice, could I ask, what kind of story was my mother hoping to write?
I had a feeling this might come up, but that answer isn't mine to give. You'll have to find it yourself, here inside this book.
Don't worry. We'll help you come up with loads of ideas. Yeah, let's find a nice spot where we can settle in and read through this thing. We could even get some snacks, too.
Oh, the actual process might not be quite the walk in the park you're imagining, Paimon.
Why's that?
Because when Em created this book, she borrowed my magic. In other words, it's not a book you can just pick up and read. It's a magical book. Its chapters are scattered through memories of the past. Gather them all, and the book will show you its secrets.
So, where are we supposed to find these memories?
Em left a trail of clues for each unfinished chapter. Follow the hints, and you'll find them. Oh, and when it comes to adding to the story yourselves, you'll need to use this.
And this is...
This, my dear little Paimon, is the ink Em left behind. Infused with a little of my own magic, of course. If you're planning on writing something inside the book, you'll need it. It's extremely precious, so be sure to use it sparingly. This is all that's left.
So we need to search for the memories and keep an eye on how much ink we're using.
Oh, it just had to be a wild goose chase, didn't it?
Perhaps it's just another form of storytelling. Em was ever so creative when it came to things like that. Just think of it as a little challenge your mom left behind. Who knows? There could even be a mysterious prize at the end of it all.
I don't care about that. This was my mother's dying wish. Whatever it takes, I'll find a way.
Yep. With the two of us by your side, you'll be just fine.
Okie dokie. That should be pretty much all you need to know. Oh, and once the story's complete, do let me have a little look-see, okay? I've read everything she ever wrote, So naturally, I can't miss this one.
Yeah! Most of the time, you're pretty hard to pin down.
Don't worry, I'll know when you're finished. Just wait for me to reach out. All right, off you go. I can't wait to hear how the story ends.
Oh, here we are again. Alice's magic really is incredible, huh? Right. Alice mentioned we should be on the lookout for clues. Huh?
A corner of repose for countless tales, watched over by the honor of knights. A place for stories to sleep, perchance to dream of ancient cities and the epics of ages past. There, a witch once spent a sleepless night, and all to bring forth a story yet untold. Find the place I speak of, for it is where the seeds of this story lie.
Was that a riddle? Where do you think this mysterious place could be? Hey, you might actually be onto something. Guess that means we need to head back to Mondstadt?
I had a feeling that's where we would be headed. After all, it's where my mother was from, and I bet it's where she wrote this story, too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Still, I feel bad about dragging the two of you along on such a long journey.
Don't worry about it. We don't really have much going on right now, so we're all yours. Come on, let's go! Back in the Mondstadt Library, huh? Talk about a trip down memory lane.
So, we're supposed to find the seeds of the story, right? What do you think that means?
Well, we're in a library, so it's gotta be books, right? But seriously, there's so many here. How are we supposed to know which ones we need?
Making a racket in a library? You should know better than that.
Lisa! Oh, sorry about that.
Now, who do we have here? Ah, my golden-haired cutie. And my little horn cutie, too.
Sorry, Miss Lisa. I know you taught me to be quiet in the library, but Paimon was just trying to help. Please don't be too hard on her.
Well, it has been far too long since we saw each other, so I suppose I can let it slide just this once. Back when he first arrived here, poor Jean wasn't sure what to do with him, so I stepped in to lend a hand. I figured if I can handle a boy raised by wolves, then teaching one who's part dragon should be a walk in the park.
Nice! Sounds like Durin was welcomed with open arms.
Why, of course. Now, let's save the reminiscing for another time. I'm sure you're here for a reason. Did you need to borrow some books?
It's kind of hard to explain. Maybe you could take a look at this.
Oh? Ah, I see. These so-called seeds of the story must be the books that inspired its creation. That's just how it is with stories. They grow out of the tales that came before them. And that mage, I can almost picture her here, hundreds of years ago, scribbling away at one of these very desks.
But we don't know anything about this story. How are we supposed to figure out which books inspired it?
As it happens, just before I found you here, I was looking into something rather peculiar. One of the knights reported seeing some books that weren't listed anywhere in our catalog. Stranger still, just as he went to reach out for them, the books vanished into thin air. And then, a while later, while he was browsing through other shelves, there they were again.
Seriously?
That particular knight knows this library inside and out. I'd be very surprised if he was seeing things. Something tells me these might just be the magical books you're after. According to the report, there are 3 of these books in total. I'll be relying on you to track them down, cuties. Well, did you manage to find them? Seems like there's still some missing. Why don't you try checking the other shelves?
Oh, wait! Did Klee write this one? Should this even be here? We better show it to Lisa. Kinda looks like a poetry collection. But why is part of the title missing? Let's see what Lisa makes of it. Second strongest spell in existence. Do not show Klee. Wait, there's actually a book like that right here in the Mondstadt library? That title's just gonna make people even more curious. Huh. There's definitely something fishy about this one. Let's hang on to this one for now. Could be one of the ones we're looking for. It's one of M's, after all. An experiment log. Looks like part of the title's been erased. There's something seriously suspicious about this book.
Well, did you manage to find them? This book definitely doesn't belong here.
Yeah, we could tell just from reading the title.
Albedo was the one who brought it in. He suggested I place it on the restricted list and keep it sealed away.
Why?
He said it's full of forbidden alchemical formulas, some of which could even result in the creation of dangerous monsters. Apparently, the danger it posed was so great, he didn't even feel like it was safe to carry around or keep it in his workshop.
Really? Definitely sounds like it shouldn't be here then.
Still, if that mage read this book too, it must have been written a lot earlier than I'd imagined. Well, did you manage to find them? Truly extraordinary, and certainly not the kind of thing that should be just lying around. In fact, Miss Alice gave strict instructions about it.
So, it's some kind of book of spells? Paimon's guessing magic this powerful should be kept a secret.
It's true. This book does contain one of Miss Alice's spells. But honestly, virtually no one could actually pull it off, even if they tried. The only reason it's even meant to be in the restricted section is because we can't let Klee get her hands on it. After Klee was born, Miss Alice advised us to seal it away. She even added that little subtitle herself.
So, it's to keep it away from Klee, huh? Does that mean she could use it to cause even more mayhem than she already does with Jumpy Dumpty?
No, that's not it. As Miss Alice herself put it, letting Klee see it too early would spoil the surprise. Well, did you manage to find them? Well, it definitely shouldn't be here, but I'd highly doubt it's one of the books you're looking for. Because this is something Klee wrote. It's a compilation of all the best fish blasting spots around Mondstadt, as well as the most convenient places to stash her new Jumpy Dumpties. Of course, there's no way she'd get away with keeping a book like that in her bag. And she'd be in big trouble if Jean were to find out. Not only would the book itself be confiscated, but she'd be looking at a whole day in solitary confinement at the very least. Somehow, she figured out that the best place to hide it was right here. No place like a forest for hiding trees, huh? Now, every time it gets confiscated, she just writes a new one and sneaks it back in. Yes, so thanks for helping me find it. I'll finally be able to hand it over to Jean. Well, did you manage to find them? Yes, this is a restricted book, all right. It certainly isn't supposed to be here.
Huh. But it looks like a regular poetry collection. How did it end up being classified as a restricted book?
The issue lies with one of the poems inside. You've heard of the great battle that took place on Dragonspine, yes? 500 years ago, during the cataclysm in Conria, an evil dragon descended upon Mondstadt. A fierce battle with Dvalin ensued, but in the end, the evil dragon fell, and Dragonspine became its resting place.
You're talking about Durin. The Durin of Dragonspine.
Well, the poem in question turns the whole battle into a dance, with the evil dragon recast as an innocent child who came here in search of friends. But given all the suffering experienced at the claws of that dragon, how could the people of Mondstadt accept such a retelling? Bards are often accused of inventing history or distorting the truth in their ballads. But this one hit a bit too close to home. And since the knights back then were unable to track down the author, they decided to ban the entire collection, blot out the title, and seal it away for good.
So the version in the poem, it was all a lie?
I'm afraid that question is something only the dragon himself could answer. Well, would you look at that? Seems like these are the little troublemakers you're after. And all three just so happen to be forbidden texts. What kind of story requires reference material like that, I wonder?
Forbidden texts? You know, the first time you mentioned that the library had a restricted section, I thought you were just trying to scare us. Are you saying it actually exists?
Not really something you should be poking your little nose into, is it, cutie?
Sorry.
Seeing as it was Miss Alice who asked you to look for these books, I won't question the matter. But they'll need to be sealed away again once you're done, so don't forget to return them.
Don't worry, Miss Lisa. I won't forget.
Well then, that's all from me. After all that hard work, I think I've earned myself a nice cup of tea.
All right, we've gathered all the reference books. What's next?
Wait, look!
Long, long ago, an evil dragon descended upon the human world, bringing terrible calamity in its wake. Bravely did the people resist, until at last, the dragon lay slain. Later, a witch with a love for stories came upon the tale of the evil dragon, and for reasons she could not explain, felt a pang of sorrow on its behalf. For she knew, despite its body being born of wicked alchemy, all along, the dragon's soul was that of an innocent child. Right up to the moment of its death, it had no choice in becoming a vessel of calamity, nor could it fathom the cruel fate that lay before it. Though the witch had a love of stories, she was not pleased with how this one ended. No, that won't do, she thought. I'll write you a better ending instead. And so she set off to do just that, borrowing a little magic from her friend. With it, she wove a dragon's egg, resolving to rear a dragon child of her own. Yet long in thought she lingered, wondering what kind of world her little dragon ought to behold upon waking. At last, she made her mind up, adorning the cradle with a wisp of woodland air. Then, she quietly waited for the egg to hatch.
Whoa! We're actually inside the story!
This must be Aunt Alice's magic.
Yeah.
A story about me?
Why don't we just see where the story takes us? All we know is the beginning at this point.
Okay.
And now a golden-haired traveler, a silvery sprite, and a dragon-born youth step onto the stage. What new chapter will their arrival bring?
Whoa! That came out of nowhere! Was that the same voice we heard just now? Yeah. But why does it sound so familiar?
I've missed this. It's just like the stories my mother used to tell me.
You mean... Em? She used to tell you stories?
Yeah, she loved it. Back when she was still alive. Sorry, we should focus on what we're here to do. So, now that we're in the story, what's next?
The dragon youth wondered aloud. Yet all he could do was wait for the story to unfold. Of course, there's something to be said for helping it along. Perhaps a little exploration could prove fruitful.
Oh! Is that a hint?
Yeah, I agree.
For a moment, the story crashers fell silent. Perhaps waiting around wasn't such a bad idea after all. Yet those who never stray beyond the main plot often miss the fun little details along the way.
This Draco doll is meant to be the witch in the story, right? Wait a second. All the people we've seen that look like that turned out to be mages from the Hexen Circle. Do you think the witch in this story is one of them too?
My mother had a hat just like this.
Then, the witch must be Em. Looks like this story really is about Durin, huh?
Whether the sprite spoke true or not, it had little bearing on the story at hand. For in that moment, what mattered most was not that she was a witch, but a mother waiting for her child to hatch.
Let's keep looking.
Look at all these books. Guessing the witch did a lot of reading while she was waiting for the egg to hatch.
It just so happened a dragon egg wasn't the only thing she was incubating here. Where else might a story be born, if not among books?
Oh. This must be the dragon egg, right? Looks like it's gonna hatch any moment now. So we've got a dragon egg about to hatch, a witch who loves stories, and that evil dragon we heard about at the beginning. Yep, it all adds up.
This is my story, isn't it?
Okay, so how are we supposed to help the story along? It feels like all we can do right now is wait.
Apparently, it hadn't dawned on the group to look for a way to help the egg hatch faster.
Oh, right! We're at the point in the story where we're waiting for the baby dragon to hatch, so that has to happen before the story can continue.
With the flames at his command, perhaps the dragon youth might be able to provide the egg with sufficient warmth.
What? You want us to roast the dragon egg?
The silvery sprite's surprise betrayed her lack of reading. For in countless tales it is told that only by fire's embrace will a dragon's egg hatch swiftly.
Huh, you kinda have a point there.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. The abyss is burning shadow!
Clearly, both the golden-haired traveler and the dragon youth were eagerly awaiting the little dragon's birth, though perhaps their longing burned a little too brightly. Still, such fiery anticipation might itself become a blessing. At last, under the witch's expectant gaze, the little dragon broke free from its shell. No living being has ever decided the moment of its birth. You were no exception, my child. I brought you into being because I willed it so, just like the witch who created that evil dragon. But I promise you this. Your birth was wanted. You are loved, and you will have a different fate than the dragon that came before you.
You've never told me those things before, but for some reason, I always knew. Thank you for bringing me into this world.
The waiting witch did not feel lonely, for she had 3 visitors by her side. Together, they beheld the hatchling's first breath of life. Holding her dragon child close, the witch promised him a life unlike that of the evil dragon. And so, nestled in his mother's warm embrace, did the little dragon's story begin.
Wait, isn't this Mondstadt? Looks like we're back in the real world. Looks like there's more written on the page now and less ink left than before. So, does that mean we've completed this chapter? Yeah, but why does M seem to think that the story isn't finished yet? Durin broke free from the curse, came into this world with a new body, and even made a bunch of new friends. That already sounds like a happy ending to Paimon. True. Everything's always so mysterious with these mages. Guess all we can do is wait for more clues.
Huh.
Is this thing on? All right, that should do it.
Hey, that's Alice's voice.
Hello there, children. If you're hearing this, you've stumbled upon the little recording I left for you. I thought you could use a few hints about how the book works. By now, I'm guessing you've already begun to leave your mark on the story. You should know, however, that the book needs time to absorb the ink, so the next chapter's clues won't show up right away.
Wait, so even magic ink needs time to dry?
The good news is, you can return to any chapter you've already completed and continue to explore the mystical, magical storybook world you helped create. Have fun, dearies. Toodles!
Oh, man. Paimon was so ready to knock this out in one go.
Maybe it's for the best. Sooner or later, we'll end up being whisked off to another world again, and if that happens, who knows when we'll be able to come back. So it might be good to take a break while we can.
A break. Yeah! Paimon has a sudden craving for the Good Hunter's sticky honey roast. And we happen to be in Mondstadt, so...
So let's meet up here later. I need to find Miss Lisa to return those books anyway. Aunt Alice said we can return to the story world at any time. If you feel like checking it out again, just come find me.
Huh. Paimon doesn't remember seeing this many manuscripts last time we were here. So, she wrote this many books even after Durin was born? Let's see. Weird. Is it just that Paimon hasn't read enough, or were none of these ever actually published? Wonder which story these are for. Well, looks like a lot of work went into it, so it must be a pretty great one.